was, what is something that that instrumentalists, or maybe even an exercise, something tactile that instrumentalists can work on to start to get more? I think a lot of times it's just because they're not bridging that gap. I think instrumentalists feel so disconnected from their voice, which we all have, that if they got more connected to that, they might have that appreciation. So what's something an instrumentalist could do to start to kind of bridge that gap? Not to become a vocalist per se, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always say, I learned this when I was in high school in master classes with the great Wycliffe Gordon, trombone player who also is a singer. And his whole thing is everybody should sing. It doesn't matter if you're a drummer. It doesn't matter if you're the best singer in the world. It doesn't matter if you're tone deaf. Everybody should sing. And it's not because everybody should be standing, downstage center with a spotlight singing, Lullaby of Birdland. It's not about that. It strengthens your ear so much. And, if you can hear something and you can sing it in your head, you're only going to have that relationship that much stronger on your horn. So, I mean, it sounds silly, but the old adage of if you don't use it, you'll lose it. It really is true. And so the first step that I tell people is you should just sing every day, whether or not, like we said, you don't have to be, God's greatest singer or have some amazing voice, but just so you're doing it every day, it's an instrument, it's just like whatever your axe is that you practice for hours and hours every day. If you want to be competent at something, you can't expect to do it without hitting it and being consistent about it. So that's the first thing, sing along every day. And, for me, it became a fun thing on how to challenge myself, with just singing different intervals and singing different pitches. And, I'm a trumpet player, so I sing along. In my head, that is all on the trumpet, and I'm strengthening that association so that when I go to the horn, I really hear what I'm playing and it's going to come out with more conviction. So one little thing that I like to do to challenge myself if I'm sitting by the piano that I have behind me is, just little ear training games. I'll plop down, I'll play a middle C, and then I'll say, all right, sing a tritone away from this. And then I'll check it on the piano and I'll say, okay, that was a little off. Let me try and test myself again. Here's F. Let me sing an F major 7 arpeggio and see how close I can get. And I'm like pounding the key on the piano. Okay. And, gradually you get more and more complicated to where you're saying, okay, let me try and let me sing 12th, or, okay, let me plop down a chord on the piano with both hands and not see what I'm pressing. And let me try and be able to identify what type of chord it is. It's just like little ear training exercises that you can turn into a game. And, like I said, the more you sing, the more you're going to strengthen that association with your ear. And that helps everybody's playing.
Amen. I mean, like I said, I think that all of us as instrumentalists, and I speak for myself, can do more to incorporate the vocal element into our playing. And like, even when you were talking about solos, singing along with the solos you're transcribing, internalizing the pitches before you write it down.
Yeah, when I transcribe, I learn every solo vocally before I do on the instrument. And that was actually the Manhattan School of Music and the master's program. Dave Liebman required everybody. That's what he said. The 3 steps of transcription are: you sing it first, then you learn it on your instrument, then you write it out. And until you've done all 3 of those, you haven't really transcribed the solo. And that really stuck with me.
Wow, I think that's actually really interesting, because I think most musicians are nailing steps 2 and 3 in there. Maybe they're doing both, but they're never, if ever, rarely hitting that first step.
Well, yeah, and Liebman made everybody in the program get up in front of the entire class when we would have our seminars and scat their solo. Even if you're a drummer, I remember Joe Perry, the cat who plays drums in my band, he did Wayne Shorter Just in Time, off of some kind of like late 60s Miles Quintet. And it's this chromatic, crazy, super fast Wayne solo. And he whistled it. And he was like, and he killed it. And like, nobody had ever even heard him open his mouth the whole semester. So, that, like I said, it can be another fun challenge, make it a game, but all the while you're really strengthening your ear.